Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour. When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground? I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture. I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery, well, the evening part anyway. They had a display with the theme, Love Conquers All. I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done. I dug the grave for Doctor Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is? No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine. I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor? Yes, I would steal too, and I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things. That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me. Sometimes I see a girl standing behind you. I don't know who it is. I don't know what you're asking me either. Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything. Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles. I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and... I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor? I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault. Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed. He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time. I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice, he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died. They died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I was staying at a friend's house, otherwise I would have died too. The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him. I stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick. I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor? Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor. Then I will. I'll look for her next time I'm there. Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he. David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house. David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing. Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do. Plus, Hilda's getting worse. Yes, I had a session with Doctor Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it. Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to. Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late. Help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way. Hilda wants to see her daughter. She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent. I can change my skin. What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them. It's how I help them move on. That's how I comfort them. I only shift at work to help my patients. I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone. This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died. I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird. They're not valuable, just trinkets really. It was very traditional, old-fashioned, you know. Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier, held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab and we went back to my place. I'm not sure what time Max left. We fooled around for a bit at my place, so early hours of the morning. Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand.
We went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be. Shh. I didn't have anything to do on Valentine's Day. I washed my hair and I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile. Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. It makes me feel dull by comparison. I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts, new doctor and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker. I have a recurring dream where I find something beautiful in the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us? Sorry to be pushy, I just think we should act quickly before it's too late. Okay, well, just let me know.
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Dekker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink. Wouldn't you like to know? Is our session up now? I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong. I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. I've kind of missed it. You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts. Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it? I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them.
You. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though. On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse, Elin, at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home, though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange. I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him. So, should I get a solicitor, or shall we try and talk it out with him? Good choice. I'll go and see Ben to see if I can get him to call off the dogs. I have no idea what's gotten into him. Perhaps it's his mum. It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did. What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think. Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like. I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him. Claire seems to be shaken by something. I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it? Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here. Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. He barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom. Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby. Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened? He did die. He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye. I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. Here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it? We'd worked late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order. Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters. Yes. Letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters. He was sure there was a pattern in them. Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. It's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well, Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that.